Hi everybody. I'm going to do a review and a demonstration today of the Aroma 1230R W and B models. I did make note that it has a 24-inch cord. Very annoying. That's my one strike against this product. Even to use it on my counter right now for demo, I'm having to use an extension cord, and it's really, that is the number one downfall of this product. So I'll start by saying that if you want something longer, this machine does not have a long cord. Okay, so what you get with this rice cooker is, it comes with a little instruction booklet. It comes with a steamer rack, your rice measurement cup, the rice paddle, and inside it has the actual cooking pan. Okay. So on the top, it has a little steam filter, I guess, to keep it from overflowing. Inside, I can show you what this looks like. It has sort of a little silicone flap that opens. It's easy to clean, even if with an overflow. Like, nothing sticks to all of this, if you're wondering. One of the things I liked about this model was you could see into it when it's cooking, and that does come in handy. All right, so the options on the front. Let's see. I have used almost all of the options on this cooker. If you start, we have rice, grains, and oatmeal. I use the rice option a lot. I got this mostly originally because I make homemade dog food, and cooking big batches of rice in my other rice cooker was just a nightmare. It was overflowing constantly. So grains I haven't tried, and oatmeal I did do, and it turned out great. And then you have slow cook, basically turning your rice cooker into a crock pot, which is really kind of fun, and so I have used it as that. And then you have steam. I have definitely steamed my veggies. And then the saute and simmer is actually one of my favorite things about this machine. I use that all the time. And then you have over here cake, soup, and yogurt. I have not used the cake. I guess it's for boxed cake. And I don't really use boxed cake, but I might try sometimes just a regular homemade cake in it and see how it goes. Soup I have used, and that is awesome as well. And yogurt I have not used. Keep warm I have used, and I have not used the delay timer, so I can't say how that would work, but I imagine it would be fine. Everything else works great on the machine besides the blasted 24-inch cord. Okay, so 1 second. Okay, so I'll go ahead and open the machine up. Inside of the machine are some measurements here, and you'll notice it says add the rice first. So you want to not put the water in then the rice, or it unbalances it. I have done that before. All right, so the first thing you do is I'm going to make 2 cups just to show you how it goes. So I'm going to measure and I'm going to wash my rice. I'll pause the video so you don't have to sit through that. Okay, measured. Okay, so I put my 2 cups of rice in, and now it tells me to fill up the water to the 2-cup line, which is right inside. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, so I added my water to the 2-cup line. And to make rice, that is it. All I'm going to have to do now is shut the lid. This is so incredibly easy. And now I'll go ahead and turn the machine on. And I'm going to push rice and start. And it's going to go. It'll spin around like that while it's, I guess, warming everything up, determining, I don't know, is it through weight, steam output? I have no idea. But whether I put in 2 cups or I do an entire pot, the rice comes out perfectly. So I'll pause for a minute, and once it gets to its next little phase, I'll show you what that looks like. But I guess actually while it's kind of getting itself going, I'll show you that it has some nice handles on the side. So if you need to move it around, it is easy to move around. And I'll show you the back. Okay, so the back of the machine has this little rice water cup, I guess. So when you lift the lid, the steam will come pouring into here. So be sure when you're using it, I'm left-handed, so oops, I put my hand on the camera. You kind of just pop it off, empty the water, and be sure to do that, because if you don't, then the water will overflow. It's hard with one hand. I can say it's a little troubling because when it does overflow, it overflows and comes right down here to the cord. So that is something I think they should work on, you know, having, I don't know, a shield over this or something, just some way that that doesn't overflow and drip down. Alrighty. And when it first gets going, you'll hear some sputters and crackles, and that is mostly from any water that got on the outside of the cooker pan when I was, you know, putting the water into it. Here, crackle, crackle, and it's still just kind of spinning around, determining the rice ratio to water. Alright, and I'm actually going to go ahead and steam some veggies while I'm at it to show you kind of how that works. It's super simple. It's as simple as putting whatever veggies you want on the top. You have to make sure you're not doing a full load of rice, because the rice on a full 11 cup batch will come all the way to the top. So I think you can only do up to 4 cups of rice to do the steaming at the same time. You can steam in this also if you just put water in the pot below and fill this up with veggies. Those will steam as well. So I'm going to shut that so it holds the heat in. But that's how you steam while you're doing rice. You put the veggies in. For me, I put the vegetables in right at the beginning, and by the time my 2 cups of rice are done, the vegetables are usually done. If you are doing 4 cups of rice, the veggies are always done, and sometimes you don't even have to put them in at the very beginning of your cooking. And if you don't like steamed vegetables, when you're done steaming them, you can take them out and put them in a frying pan and just saute them up for a minute with some herbs and spices and maybe a little butter. And so they're still cooked fast through steaming, and they hold their nutrient, but then you can kind of jazz up the flavor a little, because yeah, steamed vegetables can be pretty dull. Okay, it's still a-going. Just continues and continues, and I'm kind of trying to keep an eye on the time. It's been going about 10 minutes so far. I'm always shocked at how fast the 2 cups of rice goes. I mean, it's a nice fast meal. Rice and veggies, super fast. I did have the lid open a bit, and I didn't put that rice in until about 5 minutes after, so that might add a few minutes. The window does start to steam up while it's cooking. Of course, always be careful of this area. The steam blasts out of there. Pretty crazy. It's really starting to bubble and cook. You can see the steam coming up there now. And toward the very last few minutes, you'll get a countdown of how many minutes left. And then after it tells you that, it starts counting up how long the rice has been sitting, you know, keeping warm, which is kind of good information to have. Okay, so it just switched over now and put 10 on the countdown. So this means that in 10 minutes, the rice will be done. It's been going for probably about 25 minutes so far, so 35 minutes roughly for a 2-cup serving size. The 2 cups will make 4 cups of rice, I believe, so it's a pretty good amount. And the steamed vegetables at the same time. So now we just have to wait for the 10-minute timer. Okay, we're down to 5 minutes now. 5 minutes left on the cook. Okay, so The timer just went to 1 minute. Pretty sure it beeps at the end of it, but I'm not totally sure. I can hear my washing machine beeping in the background. So while we're waiting for the minute to go off, what do I think about this machine? Well, like I said, I take off a star for the fact that it has a 24-inch cord, which is just way too short for practicality. It actually makes it unsafe because it's so short. But other than that, I really like it. I think they could maybe work on that little water reservoir in the back. It's super easy to clean. It is, I like how it looks. I like that it has a window on the top. A lot of the other Aroma, the large ones, are just the black and stainless, and I just really didn't love that look as much. So if you're looking for, oh, there it goes. Awesome. Okay, so now it went to 0. And now what it's going to start doing, so say you didn't hear that beep, it's going to start counting up now. So you'll know, oh, my rice has been sitting on the counter for 2 hours. Time to put that away. Or, you know, just let people know how long the rice has been sitting, because it can sit for hours. It stays warm. I think it actually will go like for 12 hours or something. I'm not totally sure on that, but it does come with a booklet. No recipes or anything like that, but it's just the cooking and steaming thing here. Okay, so this is very hot. What I do is, of course, let that initial steam blob come off because it is excruciatingly hot. And then go ahead and have some place to put your veggies. I'm just going to put mine right there. And let's check out the rice. And I'm going to tell you, it's very important to rinse your rice, but I notice a huge difference between cheap rice and good rice. And this rice is not too bad. Like the Walmart rice is way more gummy and just kind of awful, honestly. And then if you get like the more expensive rices, but this is pretty nice. This is I believe a short grain rice, so it's going to be a little, you know, more clumpy. Oh, got the steam. And in like a half hour, I'll, you know, season this up. Like I said, I will take the veggies and the rice and put them in a pan. Fry it up a little bit with some hot pepper, some garlic, and maybe onion powder, things like that. And this is a meal for all day. Hey guys, here's a PS to the video. I mentioned this briefly, that the saute to simmer was one of my favorite parts about this machine, and I'll just tell you a little bit about what that does. Is like, for instance, if you're normally using a crock pot, you cannot saute in the crock pot. It will never get that hot, so you need to saute your onions and garlic and all of those things separately, then put it into your crock pot with all of your other ingredients. Well, this eliminates a need for an extra pan, which is why I love it. Basically, I put my oil and butter in, I click the saute and simmer button, I fry up my onions and garlic and put in my herbs and spices, and then as you add the liquids, when you're done with your sauteing, you just add your liquids and your other ingredients, and it will automatically detect that and turn off the saute option at some point and lower it down, and then just cook it like a soup or a stew. And then when it's done, it beeps and lets you know, and it goes to the, oh, excuse my dog there. And it just kind of eliminates the need for an extra pan. And there's people outside shoveling snow. So I just meant to say that originally, because it actually is one of my favorite entire parts about this machine is the saute and simmer function. So if you also love crock potting but kind of hate that extra step of the saute in another pan, this is perfect. All right, this might be